It was a hot day in northern Alabama. The four guys, Linwood, Jay, Shannard, and Forday, were laying on the couch, listening to the radio, doing nothing. The landlord, Galt, was furious. Galt said, "You lazy ninjas need to get up from the couch and get a job." Jay replied,
"Don't worry, Galt, we're looking for a job."
Galt replied, "Look harder, you guys are stinking up my apartment, and y'all's rent is due in a few weeks." Jay replied,
"Galt, we will look for a job tomorrow."
Galt replied, "No, go look for a job now or you're out of this apartment."
"Oh, fine, we will look for a job today."
Jay replied. The four guys went to town to look for a job. Linwood was at a fried chicken joint looking to apply for a job. Linwood was about to apply, but he got distracted from some tasty fried chicken. At the mechanic, Shannard was applying for a job application. Shannard was about to apply, but he got distracted by a beautiful lady walking by. At the bus station, Jay was applying to be a bus driver, but Jay's application was denied because of his criminal record. The four guys met back at the apartment. Galt said to the four guys, "Did any of you guys find a job?" And the four guys said no. Forday said, "I never even left this couch." Galt replied, "You ninjas can never do nothing right. Get ready to be evicted in a few weeks." Brave butted the convo and said,
I keep telling you there's something wrong with ninjas.
A lieutenant named Chaotic overheard the conversation and offered the four guys a job. Chaotic replied, "I think I can give you four gentlemen a job."
"Oh, really? We would love the opportunity to work,"
said Shannard. Chaotic replied, "That's wonderful. I have a position for you guys at a farm." "What will we's be doing at this farm?" said Forday. "Don't worry, the owner of the farm, Mr. Gimp, will assign you a position." Chaotic replied. Galt said, "You ninjas better not mess up this job." The next day, the four guys were at the farm. Chaotic introduced the four guys to the owner of the farm, Mr. Gimp. "When will we be off of work?" said Linwood.
"You will be off of work in 8 hours.
Gimp replied,
"What will we be doing, eh?"
said Shannon. Gimp said,
You will be working with Eric milking the cows. And Jay, you will work with Uncle Tommy stacking hay,"
said Gimp.
"As for Forday and Linwood, you will work with Chaotic picking cotton,"
said Gimp. Shannard and Eric were milking cows, but Shannard didn't know how to milk. Shannard said,
"Hey, Eric, how I's milk these cows?"
"You pull and twist," Eric replied. Shannard twisted and pulled, but accidentally got milk on Eric. Shannard laughed hysterically at Eric. Shannard squirted milk on Eric on purpose this time. Eric was furious. "Will you stop fooling around, you dumb backwoods bomber?" Eric screamed. Shannard said,
"Dumb bomber? You must be from up north?"
"Yes, I'm from Kansas City. We don't play around and act like chimps, like you dumb bammers," Eric replied. Shannard said,
"You must think you better than us just because you're smart and educated."
Eric replied, "Yes, I do think I'm better. You room temperature IQ ninja." Shannard punched Eric in the face. Shannard punched Eric so hard he lost a few teeth. Eric uppercutted Shannard. The two guys started fighting. A crowd started to gather at the barn. The other workers started cheering on the two. Mr. Gimp yelled,
"Stop fighting before I call the police."
Mr. Gimp tried to break up the fight, but he got punched by accident. "The police can."
"Arrest these animals."
Gimp yelled. The police knocked out Eric and Shannard with their batons. The two men got arrested and thrown in the back of the police truck. The two men were headed to the police station. Gimp yelled at the crowd to get back to work. Meanwhile, Jay and Uncle Tommy were stacking hay. Tommy said, "You show is slow stacking hay."
"How about you minding your business?"
Jay replied. Tommy replied, "The slower you are, the longer we're going to be out here." An hour went by and Tommy found Jay sleeping on the job. "Are you sleeping?" "Wake up," Tommy replied.
"Eyes wasn't sleeping. Eyes was resting my eyes for 2 seconds."
"There's something wrong with ninjas," Tommy replied. "Get up and back to work, lazy ass ninja," Tommy replied. Jay said to Uncle Tommy,
"You ain't the boss of me, ninja."
Things started to get heated between the two. Gimp came out and stopped the argument before it got bloody. Tommy said to Gimp, "Get this ninja to get back to work."
"Get back to work, Jay, before I fire you."
Gimp replied. Jay said,
"He started it, Massa Jimp. I was just resting my eyes for 2 seconds."
Uncle Tom immediately said, "WW. No, you didn't, you jack off. You was sleeping for 2 hours."
"That's a Jay, you're fired."
Gimp replied.
"Your pay was cheap anyways."
Jay replied. As Tommy turned his back, Jay punched Uncle Tommy at the back of the head. Did you just hit me, Ninja? Tommy replied. The two started brawling out.
Oh, not again.
Gimp said. Mr. Gimp accidentally gets punched twice. The police came and knocked out both men with their batons. Both men were arrested. Meanwhile, Four-Day, Linwood, and Chaotic were in the cotton fields, picking cotton. Linwood said, "How much longer do we have to pick cotton?" Chaotic replied, "Your next break is in a couple of more hours." Four-Day said, "Hey, Chaotic, how come you're not picking cotton? My job is just to supervise you guys for today." Chaotic relipped. 35 minutes later, and Linwood and Four-Day were already getting tired. "I need a break," Linwood said. Chaotic replied, "It's not your break yet." "I don't care. I'm taking my break." "Now," Linwood replied. Chaotic said, "Fine, but you get 15 minutes. Over 40 minutes passed, and Chaotic was furious. "Nap time is over. Wake up, Ninja," Chaotic yelled. "5 more minutes," said Linwood. "No, you fat lazy ninja, get to work now," Chaotic yelled. Linwood said, "Make me." Gimp came out and said,
Chaotic, where did you find these idiots? I mean, that 4DA guy has been flirting with my female employees for hours.
Chaotic replied, "AL, don't worry. Jump. I'm getting the police to get these ninjas off your property." Linwood and Four-Day got arrested and were on their way to jail. The 4 guys can finally rest in jail, but things weren't looking so good for the 4 guys. "Oh, look what we have here. You ninjas are going to get it now." Tommy and Eric replied